Welcome back, everyone. Today is the day, as on Good Morning America, we got the first official look of the second teaser trailer of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker by Disney, Lucasfilm, and director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So let's get right into the breakdown here of what they just unveiled at roughly 8:17 a.m. over on Good Morning America. So it all starts off with various shots of the original trilogy, and by far one of the most iconic shots of course, the Skywalker saga is where we have Luke Skywalker looking out to a binary sunset on, of course, Tatooine. Now, obviously, this is all footage that we have seen before with Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine, the Falcon going past Yavin 4, all of these different sequences of Leia, Han, and of course C-3PO and R2, them escaping the Death Star, and having that reunion at the very end of A New Hope. And it eventually goes throughout the sagas. It goes throughout all the moments of the Skywalker saga from episodes 1 all the way up until, of course, the sequel trilogy, showing us the history of the Skywalker saga, leading to the brand new footage of course, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which is where things begin to get very intense about what J.J. Abrams is about to unveil. So, as we get closer, we go through the prequel trilogy era, as you can see here, with Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, Darth Vader's burned body there, and of course, this is where we enter the sequel trilogy. Now, this is where the new footage actually begins to start. Now, this is where a lot of fans are going to get very excited because prepare yourselves about what we're about to see. Now, what's exciting about this is how they're treating this as the culmination of the Skywalker saga in this teaser trailer number 2. This Christmas, and we have a nice group shot of Rey, Poe, Finn, Chewbacca, C-3PO, and more. Now, this is said to be a celebration scene. It almost reminds me of something similar to what we saw at the very end of the Battle of Endor in Return of the Jedi, except on a much larger scale here, where it seems like that there's a victory. You guys may recall that this is the world of Pasana, in case you guys are unaware. This is the brand new desert world, and we actually went over this scene a couple of months ago, that there's going to be a victory sequence in this particular world at some point in time. You can see that these are all the villagers. So, moving on forward, this is where things begin to get very exciting for the upcoming trailer, which is where we do finally get to see exactly how they brought back Carrie Fisher as General Leia Organa. Now, a little fact here is that they used the last shot from The Force Awakens where she's saying goodbye to Rey, and they used that actual unused footage of Leia to put her head onto a brand new body, a new costume, if you will, for Leia. And let me say, she looks great. I mean, I think that they did a fantastic job of what they did with Leia. So moving on forward, it says the story of a generation. Alright, the story of a generation. We see new X-Wings, we see the Falcon here, we see B-Wings from what it looks like, and A-Wings in the distance, as well as Y-Wings. So they really are giving us a little bit of a callback of what they did in Return of the Jedi here. And as we go through, alright, we have the old Star Destroyers. A lot of people are wondering what's going on here. What's with this Force Storm? What's with the storm and the lightning going around? You guys may recall that we talked about Palpatine using a Force Storm in previous leaks, where Palpatine is said to use the power of the Beyond. Now, do note, if you look at the top part of the actual Star Destroyer, you can see that these are the Imperial ones from the original trilogy. Now, these are most likely Palpatine's forces exiting hyperspace to battle against either the Resistance, the First Order, or, heck, for all we know, maybe even both. Look at all the Star Destroyers. It's just intense. So as we go through, we have Finn and Jannah inside of the Falcon, from what it seems, heading toward a planet. And it says comes to an end. Alright, so the saga of our journey comes to an end. We have C-3PO with red eyes. Now, once again, connects to previous leaks that we have talked about, where they're going to use a specific type of memory to insert into C-3PO in order to use it of their own advantage. And the red eyes has something to do with, of course, a corrupted file that they're going to put into C-3PO's head. So that's one thing to keep in mind there. Very intriguing stuff. Now, this beam that you do see hitting the world of, I believe it is Kijimi, that's the brand new snowy world that we're going to see in the Rise of Skywalker. These are actually called the First Order Annihilators. So the First Order Annihilators are these Star Destroyers that belong to the First Order that actually hold Death Star technology in these large laser cannons that are just as big as the Supremacy ship. They are massive. So that's exactly what we were talking about for a couple of months, that these new superweapons, the First Order Annihilators, destroy the surface of a planet. Not necessarily the actual planet, but the surface of a planet. You can see the shockwave it creates. It almost reminds me of what the Death Star actually did in Rogue One. So as we go through, we have Rey throwing the saber like Thor, cutting some trees. Look at this here. I don't know if that's a little training droid right there. I'm not sure if I'm seeing things right here. Let me just see. It looks like a training droid. You know, a little training thing that we saw in Star Wars A New Hope. It definitely does. A nice little callback to Star Wars A New Hope once more. And of course, she's wearing some kind of red band here to quite possibly track something. I'm not quite sure what that was. Anyways, this is the most iconic shot, in my opinion, is where Kylo Ren is said to come off of his TIE silencer and he confronts Rey on this mysterious world that is actually going to have a force stormed by Emperor Palpatine. Now, you can see the lightning in the background, you can see Kylo Ren going toward Rey, and this is said to take place on a world where a large rainstorm is said to occur, where a lot of water is actually going to take over this structure. This structure is most likely what we saw on the official poster just yesterday, where a lot of fans were very confused as to exactly what that really was. Let me say the battle looks amazing. It looks dramatic and climactic. It looks amazing to me. It looks authentic, and I'm really loving what they're going with here. So as we move forward, let's go over to the money shot, and this is the shot that's going to really shock a lot of fans out there. This is where Rey is actually in black Jedi or black Sith robes, for all we know, using a red lightsaber, a double-bladed red lightsaber. And you can see that the design actually snaps downward. So this double blade has like a hinge in the middle. We've seen something similar to this, I believe, in Rebels or the Clone Wars, but it does snap down, as you can see. Just like that. It's amazing, it's nice and poetic, because Darth Maul had one in Phantom Menace, and now Rey has one in, of course, The Rise of Skywalker. What do I make about that? Well, I believe it is, at the end of the day, a vision, if you will. Let's take another look at that shot, by the way. It's too iconic to just not, go over this a second time. So, if we take a look at her eyes, there's no Sith eyes from what I could tell. So, that could very well be a dead giveaway that this is going to be in the form of a vision. And what I love so much about this is that this could very well be Palpatine enticing Rey, of telling her this is the power that you could have with the power of the dark side or the power of the beyond. So there you have it, guys. I mean, that is the second teaser trailer of The Rise of Skywalker. They did a fantastic job unveiling all of the previous, pieces of footage from the Skywalker saga and showing us new clips of the movie. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.